Nigeria Immigration Service rolls out new e-visa system and automated landing and exit cards. Federal University of Transportation takes major step towards data-driven transport policy ecosystem in Nigeria.
Between West Africa and Northern Africa.
Local government autonomy. Stakeholders call for amendment of obsolete bylaws to enhance implementation.
A very informed understanding of what local government autonomy is, the place of intergovernmental relationship.
Hello and welcome to the News Desk at 6 on NTA News 24. We are reaching you live from Abuja. I am Stella Inameti. President Bola Tinubu has commended the governor of Katsina State for investing heavily in infrastructural development in the state to drive development. The president was speaking while inaugurating Katsina State Agricultural Mechanization Project in the state, which will be completed in 8 months. He says the federal government will ensure all ongoing federal road projects are completed.
Once we liberate ourselves from hunger, we will appreciate peace and progress. The remarkable progress you are making in this state will continue to be rewarded and appreciated. Your achievement, the commitment to infrastructural development, to agriculture, skill for low-income people. This agro-investment, yes, you made the remark, that has developed the skill of our people. They've been included in the assembly, and they will participate in the harvest.
Meanwhile, the Federal University of Transportation, Jaura, is launching a national research initiative on transportation, underscoring its commitment to building a transformative, data-driven transport policy ecosystem in Nigeria. Stakeholders in the sector are working towards achieving an effective, efficient and sustainable transport sector in line with the federal government's Renewed Hope agenda. The university's governing council approves the setting up of committees for research on transport data framework and the Trans-Saharan route and trade.
Establish the framework. It will be there for the entire Nigerian university system, for the academia, for business people to know exactly the length and breadth and the depth of our transportation system.
4 different corridors between West Africa and Northern Africa, from Northern Africa to Europe. You know, what happened? Who were the people involved in that type of trade? You know, what commodities did they trade in? What cultural influences passed back and forth? How can we harness that historical legacy, you know, to add value to what we are doing today, especially as we are now building boundaries, you know, of economic interdependence between West African and other African nations.
The research outcome is expected to provide a data framework, policy recommendations for improved governance, and strengthen institutional capacity for transport planning and monitoring. The federal government has inaugurated the pilot project of revamping the 417 grazing reserves in the country to global standard, with starting with the Wase Livestock Village in Plateau State. Yusuf Jika reports that the project, in collaboration with Plateau State government, is poised to bring to an end the long-aged farmers-herders clashes and enhance livestock productivity.
The renewed hope agenda in the livestock industry is gradually coming to fruition with the inauguration of a multi-million naira Wase grazing reserve infrastructure in Plateau State to house herders' family and their cattle with a view to addressing urban grazing and its attendant effects. This, the Minister Idi Mukhtar Mai says, it will improve productivity and enhance economic fortunes within the value chain.
To demonstrate that this is doable under the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Here we have come with a model that encompasses, apart from the housing for the families of the herders, there is also going to be massive cultivation of pasture. There will be a lot of development of earth dams for dry season irrigation of pasture, so that when the animals are here, they will have no reason to leave this place for purposes of looking for greener pasture.
We also want you to support the president and also your governor, who is very much committed to seeing that this thing works.
The initiative today is to show the commitment of the government at all levels.
A cross-section of community leaders and livestock farmers commended the foresight of the present administration in the quest to revive the Wase grazing reserve.
I know the condition of this visiting of minister will boost the morale of this rearing cattle, because it's a modern way of rearing cattle, I know.
The minister and his entourage were at the palace of emirs of Wase and Kanam and briefed them on the federal government's agenda in the livestock industry and other positive initiatives. In Jos, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
The Nigeria Immigration Service has rolled out a new e-visa system and automated landing and exit cards effective May 1st, 2025 as part of immigration reforms. In a statement, Public Relations Officer of the Nigeria Immigration Service, Akinsola Akinlabi, says all visa applications must now be done entirely online, with approvals delivered via email within 48 hours. The visa on arrival policy, he notes, ends May 1st and previously issued ones expire by May 30th. The statement also conveys the introduction of a mandatory online landing card for inbound foreigners and exit card for outbound travelers, both accessible at LECARD. immigration.gov.ng. Akinlabi explains that from September 1st, overstaying attracts a $15 daily fine plus bans of up to 5 years or permanent blacklisting. A 3-month grace period allows foreigners with expired visas to exit Nigeria without penalty, ending August 1st, 2025. The Nigerian Correctional Service has a new helmsman. Sylvester Nwakuche has been inaugurated as the 3rd substantive Controller General since the enactment of the 2019 Correctional Service Act. The Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, presided over the ceremony held in Abuja with a clear charge: lead with vision, deliver with impact. Victor Azu reports.
It was a moment of transition and of expectations as Sylvester Nwakuche formally took the reins as Controller General of the Nigerian Correctional Service. At the inauguration, the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, offered more than congratulations. He issued a challenge, urging the new CG to frequently reflect on 4 critical questions.
What is my mandate? What is my target? What are my ambitions? What are the things I want to achieve? A man who can't answer the what question will live a life without focus. This is someone that I can attest to his capacity to deliver. When he came for senior screening, he came prepared with his 8-point agenda on what he wants to do in the service.
With security breaches, congestion, and inmate welfare still pressing issues, Nwakuche says he is stepping into the role with a 7-point agenda focused on security, infrastructure, strategic collaboration, juvenile justice reform, and improved welfare for staff and inmates.
The Success of our rehabilitation efforts depends on how well we care for those in our custody. I've become a father of almost 80,000 inmates. I have adopted them and I have demanded of my boss to treat them as my own, and that I will do.
The new Controller General becomes the third substantive head of the agency under the current Act, a role that comes with the burden of reform, but also the opportunity to leave a lasting legacy. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
Following recent security concerns raised by road users and residents around the Shagamu interchange axis, the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) Ogun State Command is synergizing with other security agencies in the state to beef up security in the area. Oyinkon Shola Ojelade has details.
Following reported cases of assaults on road users at the Shagamu interchange in Ogun State, security agencies devised various measures to tackle the problem. One of such initiatives is this one-day stakeholders interactive session organized by the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Ogun State Command, with the theme Upscaling Security at Shagamu Interchange and Environs, Issues, Challenges and Way Forward. Ogun State Commandant NSCDC Remileku Ekundayo, while calling for a united front to tackle the many solicited the cooperation of stakeholders in ensuring a safer Ogun State.
Thank you to partner stakeholders and security agencies for their support. Together we can create a safer environment.
Stakeholders and security agencies in attendance pledged support for the initiative and devised more ways of ensuring safety along the Shagamu interchange and its environs.
We all know there is no serious crime without drugs being involved. And that is a collective responsibility for all of us at the nation at large.
Security is a collective responsibility. What is needed most is sharing of intelligence.
Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun applauded the efforts of security agencies in the state and encouraged them to put more effort at ensuring the safety of the residents of the state.
Due to the proactiveness of our security agencies, we are able to quickly strategize and ensure that adequate security is in place here at the interchange. But that is not enough because there is usually room for improvement.
From Shagamu Interchange, Oyekosola Ojelade, NTA News.
The news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. More stories when we return. Thanks for staying with us. Workers' rights are fundamental protections that should ensure fair treatment, safety, and dignity in the workplace. These were comments by guests on Good Morning Nigeria, who insist that many workers still face toxic bosses and hostile environments that threaten their well-being. Lydia Sampson reports.
International standards such as the Universal Declaration of Human Rights guarantee employees the right to fair wages, safe working conditions, freedom from discrimination, and the ability to join unions and bargain collectively. Unfortunately, workers still battle toxic workplaces marked by persistent harassment, bullying, favoritism, or disrespect, often leading to emotional distress and declining job performance.
For you to get that high profit you're looking for, your main asset, which is the employee, must be in the right moral standing and also must be health-wise okay.
Government should pay hazard allowance to organizations that are more exposed to high risk and hazard.
The guest noted that employees have legal rights to report such conduct. If faced with a toxic boss or compromising work environment, experts recommend documenting all incidents as evidence, maintaining professionalism, and reporting such issues for appropriate actions.
Will not be used as a basis for discrimination, that includes your mental health. If somebody has high blood pressure in this organization, will he be told to resign or to go on early retirement? If somebody has diabetes, will he be told to leave? In that same way, if somebody has schizophrenia or bipolar disorder or generalized anxiety disorder, or even tries to kill himself, and then we treat him and he gets better, are we then going to tell him to go home? So people must know that they will not be discriminated against. That way people can speak up, that way people can seek help.
If internal remedies fail, workers, they say, can seek legal advice or file complaints with relevant agencies. Ultimately, every employee has the right to a safe, respectful, and equitable workplace. Knowing these rights and taking action when they are violated, the guest noted, is essential for protecting both personal health and professional integrity of workers. The guests are of the view that the digital era has also introduced unique challenges, increased screen time and sedentary work, leading to a rise in musculoskeletal disorder and eye strain due to constant connectivity, blurring boundaries between work and personal life, increasing stress and burnout. Mental health concerns are also further compounded by digital isolation, burnout, depression, anxiety, and stress. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
Now, to achieve full operation of local government autonomy, there is need to amend obsolete bylaws to enhance its implementation. This is one of the issues raised at a capacity building workshop in Lokoja to strengthen local government administration for effective service delivery at the grassroots. Solomon Ayede completes the report.
The three-day workshop for elected local government officials, finance and administrative staff across the 21 local government areas is spearheaded by the Office of the Auditor General for Local Governments in Kogi State. On the theme, Emerging Challenges and Benefits of Local Government Autonomy in Nigeria, the workshop aims at educating council officials on the concept of local government autonomy and their roles in its application in the state.
The essence of this training is for them to know their roles, and again, to equip them on what to do for them to generate more revenue within the local government and how they can be transparent.
Resource persons explains to participants the dynamics of local government autonomy in Nigeria, which includes challenges and benefits, public financial management, and the role of the legislature in local government administration.
With a very informed understanding of what local government autonomy is, the place of intergovernmental relationship between the local government, the state, and the federal government, the need for partnership, synergy, and collaboration.
People are giving it all sorts of interpretations. How do we operationalize it?
Participants commend Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo's commitment to promoting the autonomy of local governments in the state, emphasizing the timeliness of the workshop.
We just wish that His Excellency will keep on the good work he has been doing with us, the way he has been operating with us.
Really been impactful, and I hope that every other person here too have learned one thing or the other.
Stakeholders at the event are optimistic that such workshops will be sustained for more enlightenment. In Lokoja, Solomon Ayedehi, NTA News.
Now, proceeding in the alleged terrorism act against the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, continues Friday with the cross-examination of the first prosecution witness who gave his evidence in chief on Wednesday. Judiciary correspondent Austin Anyebe reports that the defendant's counsel, Kanu Agabi SAN, could not complete the cross-examination.
Upon the commencement of proceedings, counsel to the defendant, Kanu Agabi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, sought to know whether any of the items found with the defendant linked him to the offense of terrorism he was charged for by the Nigerian government. but a witness mentioned the radio equipment he alleged that he was using to send messages of agitation to his followers. He, however, admitted that there was no weapon of violence found on him. The Defense Counsel drew the attention of the witness to the list of several killings that have taken place across Nigeria and sought to know whether they were linked to agitation by groups wanting to separate from Nigeria. But the witness said he did not know, as questions by the Defense Counsel should be limited to the role he played in the arrest and investigation of the defendant. On whether the defendant Nnamdi Kanu has made any statement that brought Nigeria to disrepute, the witness said he once referred to Nigeria as a zoo country as reported in the social media, and on whether he knows anyone standing trial in Nigeria aside Nnamdi Kanu for the same offense. He said that he is not aware but knows that one Samuel Ekpa shares same separatist view. The cross-examination of the first witness is to continue Tuesday next week as requested by the counsel to the defendant, Kanu Agabisino, Advocate of Nigeria.
We believe, like we said at the last sitting, we are making progress. The trial is going on in a very congenial atmosphere, and we believe that we will get there.
Justice James Omotosho, having granted his request, ordered accelerated hearing of the case on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week. From the Federal High Court, Abuja, Austin Anyebe, NT News.
In a bid to effectively fight the challenge of fake, adulterated and substandard drugs, the Nasarawa State Government has inaugurated an upgraded twin farm grade warehouse to serve more than 1,000 health facilities in the state. Aliu Tijani reports that Governor Abdullahi Sule inaugurated the facility in Lafia.
Farm grade warehouse, initiated by previous administration in the state, is to ensure drugs used in hospitals and healthcare centers are properly stored. Expected to serve more than 1,000 healthcare facilities in the state. Government expanded and upgraded the facility to accommodate more drugs and medicines. Already, an agency, Nasarawa State Drugs and Supplies Management Agency, has been established to manage the facility, which government says is ranked the third best in the country.
This facility ranks third in our assessment in Nigeria, and it ranks first among others that started at the same time.
Governor Abdullahi Sule commends the Pharmacist Council of Nigeria for granting the state license to operate the facility, assuring the people of the state of his administration's commitment to address their health needs.
Sometimes you can have medications that have not even expired, that have been maintained, the facility is maintained. But as far as the condition under which they are stored is not being properly taken care of, they are worse than expired medications.
Representative of Jawa Group and other development partners, as well as Etsukaru, pharmacist Luka Panyababa, applaud the state government for prioritizing healthcare in the state. In Lafia, Aliu Tijani, NTA News.
This is the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Here is a recap of our major stories. Nigeria rolls out new e-visa system and automated landing and exit cards. Federal University of Transportation takes major steps towards data-driven transport policy ecosystem in Nigeria. We also reported on local government autonomy that stakeholders have called on for amendment of obsolete bylaws to enhance implementation. And now continuing, mass communication students of Skyline University have described their experience at the Nigerian Television Authority as enlightening following a visit to the largest television network in the continent. Deborah Bala Gbogbo reports that the students were schooled on various aspects of television broadcast.
Now, looking at all this risk, what are the practical?
Skyline University students there trying their hands on the sophisticated gadgets and equipment of the largest television network news studio.
This is what you do.
If you want to put ambience, if you want whatever you want to do, that is the editing.
Leader of the group and mass communication lecturer says, having learned the theoretical aspect of the field, it was necessary to engage the future communicators in the practical aspect of what the profession entails.
NTA is another world of its own compared to what we have there. More advanced equipment, and there are, if I look at the cameras here, I cannot even count how many, many of them. So this is the reality.
A great changes and difference from the one we have been to in Kano State.
I observe many things in this special television.
We have less idea about the TV, but now we are taking a lot of the TV aspects with us.
The excursion team was led through the studio, newsroom, and library, among other departments, an experience they describe as an eye-opener. In Abuja, Deborah Balagubu, NTA News.
And that concludes the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Stella Inameti.